The world of work for women in 2025, a global perspective. Lots to break down here. Where do we start?
There is so much to break down here. So I thought this was appropriate, given that it was International Women's Day on Friday. And I'm going to start this by saying, right? Um, I've been through a few International Women's Days in my life. The number of people who felt compelled to talk about the fact that it was International Women's Day and post about it and make it this big hoopla moment felt off to me, given where we are in the world at the moment, right? So I'm going to break down kind of globally the top 5 things that are
Well,
happening that you need to know
I
about.
mean, the one thing I will say to that, which is exciting, and keep me straight here, I think International Women's Day was more of an international thing for a long time, very European thing, Eastern European thing, before
Sure.
it came over here to the States, which is relatively new that we celebrated here in the greater timeline of things. So I think it's a great thing. And the other side of it too, when it's feeling forced, and now we start to have Hallmark cards for it. You're like, come on, bro.
Right. It felt, I don't know. I had like this weird moment with
I
it,
got
right?
you.
That's
All right.
cool. And then like, okay, I've had enough. I didn't know where to go with it.
So it really starts with pay equity. Let's get into it.
Pay equity, the biggest thing. Listen, we still have persistent gaps that are happening. So, women are still earning significantly less than men across all industries. This is just happening globally. We realize this to be the case. In Australia, it is becoming very prominent. There's a lot
Hmm.
of conversation going on this year, something for people to pay attention to in particular. In the U.S., Mastercard just in this past year settled a $26 million lawsuit over allegations of systematically underpaying
That's
women.
bad.
That's huge, systematically,
Maybe
right?
they
This
should
is,
lower their interest rates a little bit and take care of that. I
you
see
know,
a simple fix right there.
right, right. And then in the UK, I mean, this is happening everywhere, right? In the UK, there's a multi-billion-dollar pound legal battle to ensure that they receive the same pay as their male counterparts in warehouse jobs. So I
Wow.
think what's very interesting is if you watch this over the course of a period of time, this issue around pay equity and economic disparities is really starting to reach past what we kind of consider that corporate level job, and it's starting to happen uniformly across all sorts of work areas, right? Which I think is
I
important to pay
I
attention.
thought we were making so much better progress as a society, and why I feel like we're going backwards. And there's still like Mastercard, a company like
Right.
Mastercard, you think would have this locked down and taken care of maybe 15 years ago. It seems so backwards.
It does. It
How is
does.
it
But
still a thing? How is it still a thing?
so
Salary should be salary.